everybody, welcome back to another video. Nice warm day out, on my way to the gym once again. For those of you that grew up in the 90s, you guys remember a show called Biker Mice from Mars? I remember waking up early, like in maybe elementary school, catching a few episodes before I had to go to class. It was these three mice. They all had these Harley type motorcycles. They were from Mars. They were human sized. I think it was like Vinny, Throttle, and Moto. There's like a white one, a gray one, and a brown one. I thought that show was so cool. I had all the toys. They came with these motorcycles. They came with these helmets you had to put on, and I was just so enamored with these three mice and this show. I just thought motorcycles were so cool, and that show just made them seem way cooler. That was back in elementary school. Also in elementary school, my uncle had a Harley, I think a Softail or something. I remember him putting me on the back of that thing and just kind of cruising around the neighborhood. It was just such a cool feeling, being on the back of the motorcycle, feeling the wind, and I just had a smile on my face the whole time. After that, I didn't really think too much about it, but there's one specific memory I have. I was playing in my neighborhood with my buddy. It was nighttime. I saw this bike just kind of roll into the neighborhood, a sports bike, and he just kind of stopped. And me and him I had my Razor scooter at the time. He had his bicycle, and him and I just ran up right to the dude and just started asking so many questions about the bike. I was a weird kid, man. I asked too many questions when I was little. I told him, like, I want a bike when I grow up, but my mom said I couldn't have one. And he was like, yeah, well, my mom said the same exact thing. And to me, that was just so funny. I was like, well, maybe when I'm older, her mind will change and blah, blah, blah. And I just kept thinking about that. Fast forward to after high school, one of my buddies got a motorcycle, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Why a motorcycle? Why a bike? You know, he had a truck. I don't think he really gave me an answer. He was super big into Star Wars and kept like saying, oh, it's like a land speeder, and it feels so cool. It feels like you're flying when you're riding. And he kept trying to get like all of my buddies to get into riding. Of course, he had friends that rode as well. But to me, I was just like, dude, I want to, but right now I really can't. At the time I had my WRX, and that was good for me. As far as riding a motorcycle, that's just more money put into it. I was concentrating in school and working part-time, but I didn't have enough money to just kind of blow, you know, week to week on a motorcycle. That did sort of plant the seed though. And I've been thinking of it ever since. When I moved to LA, I still have my WRX, but getting to work and everything was it was such a hassle. And seeing these other bikes just roll through the crowd and get to the front of the line, and they must have gotten to work or wherever they were going so fast. And that's one thing I was kind of jealous of. I was having issues with my WRX. I sold the WRX, got a new one. I didn't like the 2017. It was a completely different car. I think they changed the headers on them. They're even headers. The old school Subaru Rumble wasn't there anymore. I sold that car and I just got my Ninja 300. I thought that was a much better choice. I was willing to deal with the risks of the idiots in LA, and for me it was just such a better deal.
Two hours later.
My bad. Alright, done with gym. Just hit my deadlift day. I only deadlift once a week. But today went good. I guess I've always been a bit enamored with bikes. Just like super curious about them. So when I started to get pretty serious about getting a motorcycle and really thinking about it, the smartest thing I thought would be to take the MSF course. Taking the course was actually very nerve-wracking. I did not know what to expect. I've never ridden a motorcycle. The most I've done was like ride a bike. And so the first 4 hours of the first day was pretty chill, just because it was in the classroom. But once we got outside into the course, which was just the parking lot, I was pretty scared. I was pretty nervous. I'm usually good about hiding the fact that I'm scared and nervous, but like there were people in my class that rode in on motorcycles just so that they could get their permit to ride. I guess they've been riding for a while, but I was so nervous, man. Even after the second day, even after completing the course, I was just so iffy about it, and I was thinking about it. I was looking up tutorials to ride. Shout out to MotoJitsu. I was looking for books. I was reading and watching everything that I could to kind of ease my mind, just because after the course, like literally we didn't go over maybe 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. Slow speed maneuvers were super tough. Doing U-turns is still kind of tough for me. I try to practice as much as I can. It's still something like bike to bike that you have to get used to. It took me several months to actually buy a motorcycle. I think maybe like 6 months later, I think I bought my motorcycle. But yeah, growing up, I've always thought motorcycles were super cool. I honestly didn't think that I would get one, but here I am. So for those of you that are curious, those of you that want to hop on a bike, I say take the MSF course. That's your best option. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Follow me for more moto vlogs. Maybe in the future I'll post some of my powerlifting lifts, or when I eventually do a meet, that might be here in the channel. Appreciate you all. Peace out.